Greetings, inmates. Welcome back to the cellblock Scorch. I am back once again. It is me, SafetyMatches. This episode is probably going to be a shorter one from me, simply because the story I wrote wasn't for this week wasn't very long. But that's how it is sometimes. So now we got a short, sweet one. A short and sweet one. However, the prompt I received for this story was from Cricket, and it is, "We thought you were dead." Well, in many ways I am, but I don't like to talk about it. And, this is I have some characters that fit this prompt perfectly, so I just wrote a quick little character interaction out, and it works pretty alright, as you do sometimes. Honestly, I'm just gonna jump right into it. I'm just gonna get into it. This is a story called I Am Dead. Celine stared in shock and horror. It couldn't be. The room behind her, the whole building collapsed. It was an odd sort of castle, a stone building backed up to a cliff, and the battle with the dragon that had taken residence within the abandoned structure had gotten rather extreme. Extreme enough that the entire thing was now a pile of stone rubble at the bottom of a ravine. Celine had gotten out. Her current traveling companion, Bale, was not so lucky. Or more likely, he was so absorbed in the dance of combat that he didn't notice the deteriorating state of the building. She didn't doubt he had slain the beast. He'd killed much more powerful and ferocious beasts in the past. But as she scrambled down the cliff, halfway between recklessly tumbling and carefully climbing, she had a sinking feeling that this may have been the Black Knight's last battle. The pile of stone at the bottom of the cliff was even worse up close. A few bits of broken gristle and blood leaked from the stones, no doubt the remnants of the very dead dragon. Celine didn't even know where to start. Bale certainly wasn't a small man, but finding one human body in the rubble was likely impossible. Celine drew her sword and drove it in the ground in front of her. "Bale, this seems a fitting tomb for you." "No tomb can contain me." A dark voice with a metallic echo made Celine almost jump out of her skin. She spun around with a smile on her face to see Bale, standing like an ominous statue. His armor was black and unscathed, his horned helmet hiding his face. Celine, in an uncharacteristic show of affection, threw her arms around him, deftly avoiding the spikes on his armor. He was still cold and unmoving. "I thought you were dead!" Celine leaped off just as fast as she'd hugged him. Bale didn't respond for a while, but the two red pinpricks of light that marked his eyes glowing from deep inside his helmet from empty eye sockets conveyed more expression than the face underneath the helmet could ever manage. "For your sake, I will not justify that with a response." Celine, internally screaming from the fact that she was worried that her dead friend was dead, simply nodded.
Hello, it's Cricket coming to you from my hotel room again to record my judges' comments for this week 246B. The prompt I gave is from Wooden Overcoats, which is my favorite podcast ever. It's a fictional sitcom about competing undertakers on a small island in the British Channel, and this is a quote from one of my favorite characters, who she's at the beginning of the series rather reclusive, and a lot of people think she's dead, and it's funny. Anyways, check it out if you want a good time. It's completely finished, so you can enjoy it all the way through right now. I got 2 pieces this week. One was from Bones, and it really, it was so well done and so well put together. I was so shook when I read it. And then I got this one from SafetyMatches that you just heard. This piece was so interesting. SafetyMatches does such a cool job with world building and character detail. And these characters, we've seen them before, and I really like them. I think their interactions are really interesting. I like their relationship. So of course I was invested in that. But then I think for me it was just the line, worrying that your dead friend is dead. Like, that's so stressful. But, like, of course, like, this is unsettling. Like, I really love how this scene paints a really clear picture in so few words. And so I gave the win to Safety Matches this week.
Okay, I've written for Celine and Bale multiple times. I cannot remember if any of it has made it onto the podcast. I believe a couple of times it has, but Bale is undead. He is a Death Knight, so I mean, I just thought this was a fun little interaction, you know? That's the extent of my that is the extent of my how do you say, I don't know. I'm not smart enough for this. Wait, it's coming to me. That's the depth that I can analyze this for you. I don't know what I was going to say, but that's what you got. You know, it's just I'm pretty sure that as more of these episodes come out, you will actually hear about Celine and Bale more times. I think I eventually end up writing them as a little romantic with each other, but that might have actually started with this piece, as a matter of fact. So, you know, things to come. Yeah, this is an uncharacteristically short Safety Matches episode, but that's how the cookie crumbles sometimes. So yeah. Now, the prompt that I did, I totally have an encyclopedic knowledge of every prompt I have ever written. It's right in my brain. My prompt was, if you knew what chivalry... My prompt was, maybe if I learned how to read, I would do better. If you knew what chivalry actually was in real life, you'd be glad it was dead. Now, you see, the funny thing about this prompt is actually that it's basically just 100% a true statement. My inspiration was the fact that a lot of people think chivalry is like being like an honorable knight and sweeping maidens off their feet, but in real life, chivalry was honor to one's lord, which meant burning down a peasant's house for speaking ill of the person who pays you as a knight. So, you know, that's why if you knew what chivalry actually was, you'd be glad it was dead. But I mean, yeah, that's all from me this week. Keep those fires burning. Bye.
The cellblock Scorch is a production of Stellacore, an independent group of nerds sharing their obsessions with the world. Links to all our projects, including Instagram, Tumblr, YouTube, Patreon, and Ko-Fi, can be found on our link tree, posted in each episode description. Follow us on Tumblr or Instagram to see the prompt of the day before the episode drops, and a quote from each Scorch the day after. If you would like to support our creative endeavors, you can give a one-time tip to the Ko-Fi of the writer of your favorite Scorches, or check out our Patreon. There, you can access the Scorches and episode transcripts for free, or sign up for Spark level support for $5 a month to gain access to our embers as well.